Do you often get really stressed because you're not quite sure what aperture to use? I got great news. The stress is about to come to an end when you are presented with situations to have a somewhat who cares attitude. That's what we're talking about here, and I'll explain all that momentarily. Hi, I'm Brian Peterson, and I'm the author of Understanding Exposure and Brian Peterson's Field Guide to Understanding Photography. Behind me, I've got one of my willing students, Maria, who's going to be posing for us, sitting on that bench. And notice very carefully what's happening here. The bench and the brick wall that she's sitting up against, all of the focus area in this overall composition begins and ends in basically the same spot. When you have depth of field like this, where in other words there is no depth of field beyond nor in front of a given subject that you're photographing, you can go to the who cares route. And by who cares, I'm referring to apertures of 8, 9, 10, and 11. The reason I say who cares is because depth of field is not an issue. We don't need a massive depth of field. We don't need a singular theme isolation depth of field, which is around 2, 8, and 4, for example. And of course, the masses being 22 and 32. Nope, we don't need a depth of field issues at all. So we call upon 8, 9, 10, and 11 simply because of optical design. That's where you'll find the greatest sharpness, greatest clarity, greatest contrast, and greatest color. So it's actually a chance to celebrate as to why we have this wonderful opportunity to shoot a who cares. So with that in mind, I frame up Maria. I got a wonderful long shadow there coming in on the side. This beautiful side lit scene, f8, 125th of a second with 50 ISO. Take a look at a few more examples where f8 or 11 have been used because they are classic examples of who cares aperture choices. They all share one thing in common. Depth of field in all of these compositions begins and ends in roughly the same spot. Pretty cool. You get to finally go outside, not be stressed out. When you have situations like this, you can say, who cares what aperture I use? Honestly, when you have that situation come up, I strongly recommend you care enough to use critical aperture, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Hey, until next time, this is Brian Peterson with a who cares attitude, reminding all of you, you keep shooting.